Hello, my lovers. One of the days last week, my man come back from, well, he day go to work, because he don't work. He what y'all call a shift worker. Y'all mention work and he'll shift. He come in. I said, then you know who's been in the street this morning? He says, oh, Dracula. I says, no, television detective van. Oh, well, what's that got to do with me? I said, got a lot to do with you. I said, we ain't got near a license. He said, well, when we went to license for, it runs all right around one. I says, not so fast as the Black Maria will run when it takes you out to jail. I said, I went £4 off you towards the television license. And he looked at me, they spake. I says, £4 towards the license. He said, no, he says, I must have a code in my ears. He says, I can't hear a thing out of this ear. So I went round the other side. I says, £5. Towards the license. He says, y'all come back round this side. He says, what's the other bad news you've got? Has your dinner spoiled? He says, how's that? Has the fish shaft burned down? He says, you know that builder up the road as I've been doing some odd jobs for? I says, oh. He said, well, he asked me to build a wall 6 foot high to stun thy winds. So I built him one 6 foot high. So I finished it yesterday, and I got on the phone and told him to come round and have a look at it. So he come today. He says he looked at the wall, and then he looked at me, and the way he looked, he says, I thought I'd done a good job. So after a bit he says, well, I've seen some walls built in me time, but I've never seen one like this. 6 foot high and 6 foot wide. He says, what was you thinking about when you made it 6 foot wide? I said, well, you wanted a wall built 6 foot high to stand our winds. Well, if the wind blows this and over, it'll still be a standing up. I says, you're back to square one then now, are you? He says, oh. I said, well, I'll have a bit of bread and scrape for your dinner now. So he had a bit of bread and scrape. And a bit later on, he said, I think I should go out again, I'll change, mate. So he took his cap off and put his trilby on. And he went out. Well, he hadn't been out long before it started to pour rain. So when he come back, he was soaked. As well, he's done something as the going out. And he started to cough. And he coughed and coughed all night. Coughed the next morning. He says, oh, I ain't had a bit of sleep all night. I says, you'll lie on the edge of the bed the next time. I says, you'll soon drop off. I said, you'll have to go down the doctor's with that cough. I said, I'm serious if you'll let it go, you know, like that. He says, I should. He said, last time I went down the doctor's, he said, he gave me a bottle of medicine. I'd got to take it 3 times a day in water. He said, I was in and out the bath all the week. I said, well, give you one like that, he give you something for your cough. So he went. When he come back, I says, has he give you anything? He says, no, I've got to get some Cenopods and some liquid paraffin. And I say nothing. And some Epsom salts. Put it in a cup, put some hot water and I got to drink it. I thought, oh, the best of luck when you got that down. I said, well, what did the doctor say? I said, to give a recipe like that. He said, well, I asked him, I says, doctor, will it cure me cough? The doctor says, my good man, you'll be frightened to cough. Put him to bed for a week, that did. 2 weeks to get up. Well, I was in a mess because I wanted to go down the town, do a bit of shopping. And I couldn't get him up because, he couldn't walk down the stairs hardly, and I thought it's a shame, I'll let him top up there. So I said to the minor bird, I said, when the coalman comes, 4 bags of coal and the money's on the mantelpiece. And I said it about 6 times to him and out I went. So I went down the market, I wanted some buttons for overcoat. So I said to him on the stall, I said, how much are the buttons for overcoat? He says, 15 pence. I said, dozen. He says, no, 1, them big ones. I said, get out, I could bought a loaf for that. He says, oh, yeah, look at the trouble you had sewing it on. So I went in the grocer's shop, I wanted some new laid eggs. I said, how much are the eggs? He says, 4 pence each, 3 pence the cracked ones. I says, crack me half a dozen. Well, I come out there and I just walking up the precinct. And who should be walking down but our Fanny? Well, I didn't know it come from her holidays, because I know they'd gone to Spain, her and Joe. They'd never been abroad before. I said, oh, Fanny, when did Joe come back? This was 2 days ago. And if I could have walked it home, I should have been back before then. I said, why, how was the weather? Oh, he said, it only rained twice all the week. Once for 4 days and once for 3. When we was coming back on the plane, the captain got up to the mic and he says, ladies and gentlemen, this plane will land 2 hours behind schedule because one of the engines is conked out. Fanny says, I looked at Joe. I said, Joe, if ever though the engine conks out, we should be stuck up here all night. I said, what sort of lodgings did you have then? Oh, he says, I never want to spend another night there. As I couldn't sleep for flies. As the next morning I said to the landlady, I've got a dead flea in my bed. The landlady says, oh, well, if he's dead, it won't hurt anybody. I says, no, but there must have 1,000 come to the funeral. Fanny says, I've just come out of our tummies. That's her son, and his wife's name's Charmaine. He says, I shouldn't think he was awakened when he married her. There sat in front of a big roaring fire enough to roast ox. And there was a blight in her eyes up. I said, what are you crying for? He says, I'm hot. I said, where's Tommy? He says, he's in bed chopping firewood. He says, he get his job up here now. He says it's too hard for him, too heavy, they keep putting all heavy work onto him. And he says he can't sleep at night because he thinks he's doing us out of a job. He says he found somebody's wage packet yesterday. And he thought, oh, that'll be all right now, I'll take it home. He says he brought it home, and when he opened it, he says they'd had 3 days off. He says, we ain't had no luck in our family for years and years. None on us. I've had none of us since I was a kid. Father used to say, all the pennies you hanged you, put 'em in that little red box, it'll save 'em for you. He says, I was 16 before I found out it was a gas meter. He says this father lost his one eye through looking through somebody's keyhole. So he sent to the National Health for a glass nun. And when he come back, he couldn't see through it. Fanny says, tell him to make a hole in it, then he'll see through it. He says, there's our Lily. Our Lily wanted to be a model, so I went and had a facelift done. And when the bill come, it dropped again. There's our Nellie. Our Nellie went courting for years and years, Fanny, without one chap, you know that. Fanny says, oh, I can remember that. And he wouldn't marry her. And her had the baby. But he still wouldn't marry her, so I took it to court. And they put 10 bob a week on him till the kid was 16. So when the kid got a bit older, he used to send him for the 10 bob. So it went on like that till it was the last week, and he reached 16. His father says, here you am, this is the last 10 bob. Take it back to your mother and tell her I ain't your father no longer. So he come back home. He says, Mother, this is the last 10 bob. And he says, he ain't my father no longer. I says, "Y'all go straight back and tell him he never has been."